Hey guys, this Tana here. Welcome to a new Let's Play series. We're playing Might and Magic Heroes 6. This is a game that kind of got a lot of flack when it came out. There were some issues with bugs, some subpar optimization, but from what I can see, like any bad reviews I've seen have mainly been from the bugs. The gameplay and the storyline are pretty solid, and I can attest to that. I actually like this game quite a bit, but I've never beaten it, and it's mainly just through, I get pretty far. Like I'm on the last mission with every faction, and I just get distracted and stop. So I'm hoping that this will force me to continue and finally see how the thing ends. So this game has quite the story to it, and it's kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones a little bit. How there's 5 children, and they all have their own branching storylines, and they all kind of intersect a little bit. And I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of that. I don't have any of the DLC, unfortunately. Pirates of the Savage Seas, Dance Macabre, and Shades of Darkness. Yeah, I don't own either of these. But that's okay. We're going to start with the tutorial. There's plenty of content to see before the expansions anyway. I guess restart. Yeah, I'd actually recorded an episode already. Unfortunately, the copyright... I started from the intro of the game, and it got flagged as Ubisoft content, so I had to restart. And hopefully it's just the intro that will flag that. Hopefully the game screen and everything else will be okay. But anyway, I'll shut up.
Griffin, butcher, killer of children, women. Pavel wants blood of my people. Pavel will have blood. Orc blood is kin to demon blood. Torgrel calls to demon lords with Torgrel's blood. Come, children of Ergash. Avenge Torgrel! Avenge tribe!
Your rage runs deep and strong, Shaman. Your call has been heard and answered. I accept your offering. I am Erebon, the Prince of Hate, champion of the Overlord Urhakal. Your soul now belongs to me. Kill Duke Pavel and lay the duchy to waste. Fill the hearts of your enemies with bitter tears of loss and anger.
Slava, you've heard the reports of demons on our borders. What are you waiting for?
Come now, Tana. Someone was hitting the ale, saw a fire elemental, and the story grew. There haven't been demons here since Togrel sold his soul 2 decades ago.
You aren't taking your responsibilities seriously. It's your duty as a duke to find out the truth and destroy the demons if they're here.
Fine. I'll tour the duchy and chase your wild geese.
Alright, so that's the intro to the tutorial, essentially. That first cutscene with the demon and the orc, I believe was a prologue to the prologue. I believe that the Pavel that they were talking about was this duke's father, and then they actually succeeded in killing him, I believe is what actually happened. It's not really that important, but it kind of just sets the stage, I guess. So this is Duke Slava, who we're actually playing as, and so far everything's locked. It's a tutorial, so not all the options are available to us. Basically, the only thing we know is to complete the quest, essentially, which at this point in time is just to kill 2 wolf packs. So that's what we're going to do. We have Duke Slava as our hero. We have 35 sentinels and 25 marksmen. Against a couple of wolves, so we'll see how that turns out. It says here that we lost a unit, so we're going to try to play manually. Hopefully we can do a bit better. Duke Slava Alright, they ran up. That's fine. For some reason, I can't actually use him yet. Alright, so this wolf is behind the rock, giving him a little bit of cover. So we're going to go for this one. And from here, I suppose we'll do this. Hopefully the wolf will not be strong enough to kill him. Nope. Perfect. No casualties. And this game is all about not getting casualties. Some of the missions, you're not able to reinforce your troops at all, so that becomes even more important. But it's always important to take as few casualties as you possibly can. Alright, so we got an artifact. Let's see what our hero actually has. Can finally go into his menu. This is his equipment screen. Apparently that is a slot. Oh, pocket, I see. So this is his inventory, what he carries. This is his equipment. So far, only the +4 destiny charm. You get reputation for various actions. For the tutorial, it doesn't really matter all that much. Some of these are passive, some of these are active abilities. These are both active. Current turn, all friendly stacks deal plus 22% damage. Okay. Alright, so we start out with a passive, +1 morale, plus 3% damage to all of the creatures that he leads in battle. If we keep going up the tiers is basically the good side, blood being the bad side. If we keep going up the tier side, we'll unlock a passive. End of each turn, the player's most damage stack will benefit from might resistance and health. Okay, so that's, I guess, sort of useful. I don't know. This one, nah, it's not very good either. Honestly, blood is a little bit better, it looks like. But regardless, this is the units we have so far. Sentinel. For some reason it won't stay clicked. Maybe I can... Here we go. Creature details. Sentinel. These are the basic stats here. Nothing really that you have to memorize at all. But each unit has special attributes. Every unit will be either living or dead. Living units can be healed and resurrected, and they have morale, so psychology, essentially. Sentinels, they reduce range damage by 25%, and Shield Guard, when an enemy attacks an adjacent friendly stack, 35% of the damage is dealt to the Sentinel, with 25% reduced damage overall. So they're very good at, if you sit them next to an enemy, they'll sort of tank some of the damage. Crossbowman is the core ranged unit for the humans. There's 5 different factions. We're playing as the humans right now. Eventually you'll play as all 5 of them. The humans are called the Haven faction. They all each have their own name. So the crossbowman is the core, one of the 3 core units that the Haven faction gets. They have armor piercing. It ignores 35% of the target's might defense, and then they're also a living unit. Anyway, so that was the first battle, and we're going to move on. Weaponsmith here will add a permanent +1 might power to the hero. So very useful to get all of these permanent bonuses that you can possibly find. I tend to just pick the experience, and especially in the prologue, gold is not going to be that important. Alright, so it's the end of our first turn. We're going to click here to end it. Actually, let's go back to the Slava really quick. This is his general's page where you can see the troops he has and his reputation and equipment. And then this is his ability tree, which is like his skills. For the tutorial, you're pretty limited to what you can choose. You're forced into the might tree. Can't choose any magic or hero abilities. And within the might tree, you can only choose from the war cries, which are kind of not that great in terms of what else you could possibly pick up. So he comes with the stand your ground, gains an extra retaliation, which is, if someone attacks you, he'll attack back twice. Actually, what that means is usually you only attack back once. So if you get attacked by 2 enemies, you're only going to counter-strike the first enemy. But with this on, you would attack another enemy. You would attack the second enemy as well if 2 enemies attacked you. And it also increases might defense by 7. So yeah, it's okay. I don't know. It's fine. There's just better stuff you can get within the other trees and such. So anyway, moving on. Get the campfire for some minerals.
Remember Cerberus. Remember that his vengeance cost your father his life. If there are demons out there, find them. Start nearby. Check every copse, every hamlet.
All right, and so Sveltana is a necromancer, and she is, I believe, the sister of Duke Slava, possibly sister-in-law. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, here we have another unit of wolves, timber wolves, and then we have the upgraded version of the timber wolves called the dire wolves, and we'll see the difference in the battle. It says here that we're not going to lose any. And I think I'm going to let that slide because it's a perfect result. So we're not going to play that one manually. But the dire wolves get an extra attack. That's essentially what the upgrade for them does. Alright, so there's some gold there. Not enough movement points. We'll end the turn. Grab the wood there. Flag the sawmill. These sorts of things that you flag here will give you resources per turn on a daily basis, or a per turn basis. So the sawmill gives you, obviously, wood every turn. Oops. Grab that wood and then move on. We got a skeleton here. Grab that and take a look at the signpost. Welcome to Pleasant Valley. This valley has known better centuries. One might wonder whether its original inhabitants gave it its name in order to attract foolhardy settlers rather than describe its harsh surroundings. Perhaps they named it for what it might become in the future, with 1,000 barrels of sweat and a little help from a powerful earth magic druid. Alright. And then we have another thing over here. This is a neutral army, full of haven creatures, so often neutral armies of the same faction will join you, which is what these ones are doing. Creatures with a thirst for glory wish to join your army. What will you answer? Obviously, we would want to accept, even if there was a decline option. So we will accept. And they joined our army. And looks like there's a big battle coming up, so we'll see what happens with that.
By the holy light of Elrod, Sveltana was right. They're here fighting against orcs. What are orcs doing? Go, Bluey. Tell your mistress if she doesn't already know. Better hurry if you want a piece of these demons on you. I'm not waiting.
Alright, so this is the automatic result of that battle. As you can see, we lost 4 sentinels and 1 priestess, which, you know, is probably a decent result, but I feel like we can do better, so we'll take a look at that manually. So the new unit we got in that from that last group was the Vestal, which is the upgraded version of the priestess, which is another core creature for Haven. Her special abilities, the priestess gets heal, which is just what you'd think it would be, except it also resurrects dead units. So if you lose units in battle, you can heal them up and they'll come back to life with this ability. And then when you upgrade the priestess to a Vestal, it also gets this ability, Pacification. Target enemy creature cannot move, attack, or use any abilities for 2 turns. And I believe this happens. This might be activated by her, or it might just be automatically what happens whenever she attacks. I can't quite remember. But anyway, we start. Let's see. We should probably stand your ground. I assume on the Sentinel. That's probably going to be their main target, so we'll use that ability on him. The marksman will be shooting. These troops are all Inferno troops, which are the demon army. We can take a look at their abilities. All demons get these 3 attributes. They are resistant to fire by 20%. They're vulnerable to light magic, which by 20%, and they're also alive. But the Maniac, which is a core creature for the army, has Twisted Mind. It's immune to mind influence and effects, decreasing morale. The Juggernaut is a Inferno elite creature, so it's one step above the core creatures. It has Unstoppable Charge, which I believe is an activated ability that lets them attack any units along the way towards their objective. Has Organic Armor, immune to effects, decreasing all forms of resistance and defense, and then it has the 3 demonic abilities. Then the Succubus, is the ranged core creature for Inferno, the demons. They get Pleasure and Pain as their special ability. Any melee attackers deal only 90% damage to them, and the remaining 10% is dealt back to themselves. And so that's it for what we see so far for the Inferno faction. The crossbowmen will be shooting... see, I can wipe out potentially 7 of these maniacs, which I will try to do. 6 is pretty good. The Vestal, though, I believe I will move back. Can I wait? No, I can't. No one needs healing yet, so I'm just going to move her back. And for some reason I can't wait with her. I don't know why. But I'll do that. So I could wipe out the Maniacs, which is a very reasonable thing to do, but I think I'd be better served... Well, he's going to retaliate on me, so I might as well get the Maniacs out of the way. We got nice little cutscenes when we have a killing blow. It's kind of cool. And I guess he can attack again. I think it would actually be smarter to not do this, though. So I'm going to put him on defense. Because the Juggernaut's going to attack him next turn, which happened. Alright, so we can hopefully wipe out the Succubi here. The main thing I'm worried about is if... I want to get a round of healing off with my Priestess before everyone is dead. So I'll shoot at the Succubi. They all died. It's still okay, though. I have a turn to heal on the Sentinel, bring back the one that I lost. And then he will... Actually, we'll do this first. The hero will attack. A little bit of damage. Then the Sentinel will attack the Juggernaut, wiping him out. So we lost no casualties at all, which is the perfect outcome.
May Father Sky light your way. I am Sveltana, Regent of the Gryffindor. This is Duke Slava, son of Pavel.
May Mother Earth give you strength. I am Crawl, War Chief of Whitespear Clan from Red Skull Island. How does Regent know Orc greeting?
I know your customs better than you know ours. By what right do you cross our lands?
Demon raiders attacked tribe. Kidnapped powerful shaman, Elda Ula. Demon leader calls himself Togrul, Pavel's Bane. Orcs follow trail to this place.
We know this, Togol. He caused us a great deal of grief. If you come for his bones, know that they were broken, cleansed, and scattered.
Togrul. Togrul's spirit has returned, twisted, corrupted by fires of Sheog.
War Chief Kral, we have a common enemy. Perhaps we should join forces.
Orcs will discuss.
Aunt Sveltana, what are you annoyed about?
You spoke without counsel, without thinking.
I made a suggestion.
Beggars and prostitutes make suggestions. A duke does not suggest, he decides.
Oh, come now. What about diplomacy?
They are walking on your soil, living off your lands. The time for diplomacy is long past. Don't trust people so easily, Slava. Especially orcs. But now you've made an offer and must keep your word. Well, good luck. I must stay and guard the castle.
Alright, so that's the exchange. The first exchange between Duke Slava and Thrall. Or Not Thrall. This is not World of Warcraft. Grawl, I think his name was, the orc guy. First time they meet, and the orc guy is not the main character by any stretch, but he definitely is involved. So, all right. Here's a town. Certainly is probably our objective. Yes, reach the nearby village of Pleasant Valley. All right. So next turn we'll do that. All right. So there's a neutral demon army here. We'll attack them. It's not a very good result by any stretch of the imagination. So we're going to play that manually. And as you can see here, there's a new type of Inferno troop. This is the Cerberus. If I can bring up the info screen. It's a core creature for Inferno, the demon army. And its special abilities include... Actually, the Cerberus is, I think, is the upgraded version of the Hellhound, which is the core creature. So the Cerberus has the 3 demonic abilities. It also has Voracious. The melee attacks of the Cerberus deal damage to all enemies on a front arc, which can be pretty deadly. I have Gluttony, increases damage of the Cerberus by 20% on all targets that have previously damaged it. And Unlimited Retaliation. And like I said, this allows him to counterattack any unit that ever attacks him. So those 3 abilities are pretty scary, and they actually come in handy, especially against the AI when you are playing Inferno. And once we get to the Inferno campaign, I'll show you how you can use Cerberuses to your advantage. So, as much as I would like to start shooting at the Cerberus, I really need to get rid of these ranged attacks as much as I can. So that's going to be his goal. And as for the Vestal, I'm going to move her back here. And I'm just going to have him defend right in the front like that. Because I don't think they'll be able to get there. Oh, they did! Okay, no casualties though. Unfortunately, my marksman is now in close combat, which means that he can't shoot, and unfortunately he's going to get retaliated against, and it's not going to be pretty, to say the least. So, what should I do here? One thing I could do is use this, which I haven't yet. I'm going to put it on the crossbowman because he's at the most risk by far. Alright, so the Cerberus has been mesmerized. I can't remember the exact term, but the priestess did that to him, so we don't have to worry about the Cerberus for 2 turns as long as we don't attack him. Unfortunately, though, attacking him is probably our best bet, because we have to get him out of the way. I can move the priestess over here, just in the far corner, just out of the way. And, I don't want to... I have to kill the Cerberus, that's a given. This guy can move back here. Alright, so he did move around me, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to have him wait. I need to have her heal. So, heal the crossbowman. And I could just kill them all right now. But I would potentially be losing a turn of healing. So I'm gonna risk this. Alright. It worked. It worked. No, it didn't. No. No. I didn't think she'd get a retaliate. Well, I have to heal the Vestal. That's just a given. And we'll just get out of this battle. We did lose a few Sentinels, but it's not too bad at all. Alright, so we reached level 2 with Slava. We got some might, power, and might. I'm not exactly sure the difference there. Obviously this involves damage. I'm not sure what might does, but we gained another ability point, which is good.
My scouts have sighted a succubus near the mines.
Succubus? Ah! Humans who give soul to Urgash, like Togrul. Kill her!
Wait, Kral. I don't want to lose troops for no reason. Let's at least draw up the battle plan.
Okay. Grab weapons, then attack. See? Good plan.
All right. And quest completed. We got some stuff. And we got our first town, which we'll be visiting right away. And this is the town screen. It shows you all the buildings you've built. This screen is different for every faction, so it has like its own flavor. You can convert towns to your faction. So if this was a demonic town or undead town, we could convert it to be the same type that we are. This is the building screen. We can only build one building in this prologue, which is the barracks, which allows us to recruit sentinels. So since sentinels are the only recruit we can actually purchase, we want to make sure we keep as many crossbowmen and vestals as we can. So that building allows us 9 sentinels, which we'll pick up, move them into our stack, and then keep going. Alright, so let's move forward. There's Slava. Mother Earth Shrine improves health of all creatures in the hero's army by 10% for next combat. So we'll visit that and then go attack these guys. Again, we want to lose only sentinels if we can swing it. Let's get rid of one of the hellhounds. Let's kill some of those things. I'll move her back here, I suppose. This guy will move. Alright, can you kill all of them? Yes, perfect. So all we have to do is heal back those wounds. With the Vestal. It's back to full life, and then take a swing at him with our hero. And that should make him easily killable, which it does. And that's the match. No losses. Okay, so we got rid of that guy. We got 2 wood, a cape of protection, 2 magic defense. I'm not really sure how much that's going to be useful. Yeah. Is there a stat line? Here it is. Alright, so we got 3 magic defense now. The hero's stats, aside from affecting his abilities directly, they also apply to any troops in his army. So these guys benefit from him having better stats as well, which makes it very important. We also got an ability point for reaching level 2, which we'll spend. We're limited to these 3 at the moment. You have to be level 5 to get any of the second tier, and we can't choose any other tree at all. Increase initiative by 17, movement by 50%. Morale and luck by 15, damage by 17%. Inflict maximum damage for 2 turns. I think that's the best option. It's certainly better than the other ones, I think. None of these are particularly good, so it's really not that big a deal. There's a rally flag, which should increase movement by 5, which brings us to the stables, increases movement by another 5, and then we'll move to this ore. What's funny is that I don't think we'll ever use this ore. This armor smith is another permanent stat bonus. This will add 1 might defense to our hero. There's some gold. How do I scroll down? There it is. Alright, well there's nothing down there it looks like. See what the signpost says. Old Griffin Bridge. This signpost overlooks a very old stone bridge, certainly built centuries ago. There are beautiful statues carved into its railing, representing the dragon god of air, Elath, numerous griffins, and ancient heroes of the Griffin clan. Istvan Griffin's likeness can be found amongst them. So Duke Slava is the Griffin Duke. He's part of the Griffin family, and it's not essential to the storyline, but it's fluff. It adds background. All right, so we'll flag the ore pit and move on to this guy.
Old bridge, old spirits. What's over there?
A mausoleum. We used to bury our ancestors in the mountains where the griffins nest.
Why used to be? Why not now?
Ha! We've become more farmers than hunters. The lands beyond that bridge are mountainous and harsh. Besides, we converted to Elrath, the Dragon of Light. Since then, we bury our dukes in the Hall of Heroes in the heart of the Holy Empire.
Griffin people changed their god?
Yes, back then we worshipped Elath, the dragon of air.
Dragon of air or dragon of light, wind or sun. Both dragons are faces of Father Sky. Maybe Griffin people not so different from orcs.
Don't let my aunt hear that.
Alright, so that was just letting us know that they had converted from the Dragon of Air to the Dragon of Light, which I think all the clans have been doing. So here we have some Maulers wanting to join us. There's 18 of them. They are the orc, one of the orc core units, the orc faction called Stronghold in this game. So there's also a treasure chest. We'll grab the XP and some wood. And that's it for this side of the map. Let's see where else we could go. Looks like we have to go backwards, so let's go to the stables first, get some extra movement. I got that, right? Yes, already visited. Move to the stables, and then rally flag. Already visited. Really? I could visit that if I wanted to. I guess I do want to. I see no reason not to.
Tell your orcs to keep their position. If we're attacked, we'll never have time to form up.
My orcs? Crawl doesn't own orcs. Orcs are not slaves.
You know what I mean. In time of war, you need discipline.
What does little baby Teeth know about war? Only courage is important. Lines, order, formations, not orc way.
Just make sure they're ready if we're attacked.
Ready? Orcs born ready to fight demons.
And some of the fluff in this game, the orcs were bred by some human wizards, and almost all of the beastmen in this game were bred by the human wizards, and what they were doing was trying to create soldiers for themselves, like super soldiers kind of, and so they started breeding. You know, they started with like centaurs, like horses and humans, and then harpies, birds and humans. What is this? I think that's the upgraded version of the Maniac. We'll take a look at what he does, though. But anyway, so all those experiments were, you know, quote unquote failures. They weren't satisfied with them, so they started experimenting with demons. And at first they mated, I think, a demon with a gnome or something, and they made goblins. And then they tried giants with demons, and they made cyclopses. I don't know. You know what? I shouldn't have done that. I should have done the other thing, but it's okay. I could move him away. I don't know if I should have done that or not. Clearly I shouldn't have done that, though. Alright, let's do that. Oh, he ran right past him. Alright, well this is going terribly wrong. In fact, I have to restart already. I can see it. Yeah, I don't even care at this point. Is there an automatic combat? There it is. Yeah, this is going terribly wrong. Ugh. Yeah, we lost way more than we should have. In fact, I wonder if... There's lots of combat cutscenes in this one. Honestly, this result is looking a lot better. The only qualm I had was the one Vestal. But I'm okay with that. Because I think this...
Yes, she said never trust an orc. But I can't lead and watch my back. I need something to improve the troops' morale. Music? A song? Maybe.
But anyway, the point I was trying to make was orcs in this world are humans and demons combined. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Already visited this, right? No. That one? Nope. This one? Yes. I don't think I've seen that yet. Danger, rockfall hazard. The sign delimits the edge of an impressive stone quarry where a careless step can definitely speed up a person's final rendezvous with Asha. There are traces of fighting around the signpost, and the bodies of a few accidental victims can be made out below in the bottom of the quarry. Alright, so let's see what we got here. More orcs, sounds good to me. Got a treasure chest. Uh-oh. That looks like a boss fight to me. We'll get to that soon. We'll take the XP. Slava reaches level 3, gives a little bit of more defense and might, and some magic, actually. Some more mana. So let's spend that point. If we can. I guess rush. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. And I suppose I should... It doesn't matter which way I go. Although I should really save that bonus for her. Shouldn't I? Yeah, we'll do that.
Are you Togrul?
Do I look like an orc? Honestly, young man.
Where is Togrul hiding? Where did he take Ula?
Please. Are you telling me your scouts can't track a demon army?
Let Crawl question Demon. Crawl knows how to get answers.
I will not become a demon in order to defeat them. And the only answer you'll get from a succubus is a web of convincing lies.
Slava thinks with heart, then pretends to think with head. Yeah, Griffin not so different from Orc.
Alright, so that's that. Here's the first boss fight against an enemy hero. So all the other units we've been fighting had no hero presence in them at all. Alright, so let's see how we can do manually. Probably worse, actually. I mean, we do have potential to do better, but I just haven't been able to pull that off. We don't have any AoE shouts, so we're going to have to do this all manually. I'm tempted to get rid of the succubus, so let's do that. Got rid of all of them. Vestal's going to have to hide back here. The orc can move up, and so can the sentinel. You can see how he only got the first retaliation strike. He doesn't have the special ability to... Ooh! Oh no, they walked right past me. Ouch. Alright, let's do a bit of damage there. This guy can run away. Need him to come over here. And I don't care about the tormentors, I just want these guys out of the way. Alright, so shoot at the tormentor. I'm also going to use the special hero attack on it. Let's finish it off. Alright, so I think I did a little bit better. Losing all the priestesses is pretty bad, to be honest, but it's okay. At least I hope so.
Elder Ula here for a reason. If we can figure out why, we could guess where he is. Kral, why would a vengeful orc need a shaman?
Makes no sense. Togrul demon now, not Orc. Cannot call on ancestors. Ancestors are enraged with Togrul.
Could he force Ula to torment my ancestors?
If Togrul angers spirits of Griffin, Slava and Slava's children will be weakened.
That must be it. He's going to our family's mausoleum, but no one's been buried there for ages.
Alright, so that's that. That was our first boss battle. I think I'm going to call the episode to a close here. When we come back, we'll continue the prologue. I think we're about maybe halfway through. We're going to have to pick up some of these things along the way. But anyway, this has been Miskatonic. This is a new series of Heroes, Might and Magic 6, something like that. So I hope you enjoy it. It's actually a really enjoyable game and once we get into the story, I hope you can we'll all see that as well. So anyway, Miskatonic signing off. Thanks for watching.